soccer. They're going to march in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand and greet the graduates.
Now at last they were beginning chapter 1 of the great story, which no one on earth has read, which goes on forever, in which every chapter is better than the one before. C.S. Lewis's words are especially prolific to begin this ceremony, since every graduate present and not present today will begin to write their post-high school story at their own pace and hopefully with all the grace they will need to keep them above the fray. Keene High School, class of 2025, fellow graduates, parents, family, administration, faculty, and clergy, my name is Tatum DeLegge, the Mistress of Ceremonies, for this afternoon's Baccalaureate. It is my honor to lead us through this program as we look to our final week at Keene High School. I would like to take a moment to explain what a baccalaureate service is. The baccalaureate ceremony is one focused on reflection. Seen as a farewell sermon to graduates, speeches may include a charge to go out into the community and to make a difference, to make your high school proud. Clearly, our work is not done after graduation. Just because we are leaving the hallowed halls of Keene High School, our focus is merely going to need to shift so that we are able to see the world through a more global lens, challenging ourselves to embrace opportunities in all of our post-high school pursuits. The lyrics on the front cover of today's program and the ones that the baccalaureate singles will share speak to the same message, one that begins with kindness. It is our hope that by virtue of the stories you hear today, you feel inspired. It could be by Reverend Worth's invocation and benediction, our student speakers' stories, all which speak to perseverance, service, and/or optimism, our keynote speaker's words of wisdom, which will, no doubt, add a little to the ceremony, since he has been a part of the fiber of Keene High School for 33 years. Or perhaps you'll leave energized by all the pieces in a way that resonates for each of you individually. Some pieces are short and straight to the point. Others will take us on a journey through the individual speaker's experience. We are also privileged to listen to the music of our baccalaureate singers, as I mentioned earlier, led by under the direction of Dr. Matthew Leese. We are grateful to be at the St. James Church this year, Keene Stone Church on West Street, with their weekly messages of hope posted outside this building for our city to contemplate. Please hear the words of their clergy, Reverend Elsa Worth, as she shares her uplifting invocation at this time.
Hello, everyone. I'm so grateful to be able to gather together with you again once more this year, and honored to be asked to give the invocation and benediction today. I'm really happy to hear that theme of kindness, because it has been my experience that your generation has a special gift in kindness, and I hope that you learn to deepen and grow that as you move on from high school. These are unsure and often stressful times, so I do commend you all, and your teachers, and your families for making it to this very moment and week. So as an invocation to this auspicious occasion, let us pray. Loving God, watch over each person present here today as they both look back and look forward. May they revel in their common experiences that they've experienced through high school, the friendships that they have made, the many things they have learned, and the many things they have ahead of them to learn. May this afternoon strengthen their common bonds and support them into the future, reminding them that we all need one another in this world. May your spirit be here in us, between us, and among us this afternoon as we celebrate an important milestone. And may this pivotal moment in these students' lives mark the start of a hopeful new day. Amen.
Student speakers, please stay seated until I share your introduction with the audience. Thank you. Please welcome Rain Bonfiglio to share his piece entitled Mise en place, which when translated from French to English means to put in place. While a student at Keene High School, he was a Cheshire Career Center completer as well as a culinary arts ambassador. He has worked extensively in the culinary field in the community at Muse, Fireworks, and Yellow Bell Cafe as a culinarian. He plans to travel and find apprenticeships abroad, working for chefs all over the world, as you will hear in his piece.
Hello. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Rain Bonfiglio, and I'm a senior here at Keene High. I live locally here in Keene. I moved up here about 5 years ago and didn't start attending Keene High until my sophomore year in high school. This was all new and definitely intimidating, and I would be lying if I didn't say I was scared and terrified to be here. But It was all new classes, new faces, new friends, new teachers. It was all new, but I knew this would be a clean slate for me. It would be a good opportunity for me to learn and find new challenges, new goals, new passions, so I plan to take advantage. I didn't know what to expect when I started attending Keene High School. I was, again, very nervous, but when I heard about all of the Career Center classes, core classes, clubs, all these things that students can get involved in, I was really inspired to join in and learn as much as I could while I was here at Keene High. I started in the culinary arts program. I didn't have a huge culinary background other than my parents teaching me, but I was able to meet a lot of really cool people, a lot of inspiring people, my teachers and my peers, working together and helping each other in the kitchen, showing each other how to be successful, how to be innovative, creative, and find passion and drive. I've learned so much from these friends over the years, and it pains me to let it all go. I wouldn't have been able to make these great connections without these friends, these teachers, and all these amazing people out in the community. I've been inspired by our community, working for them out in the field, serving them in the restaurants here in Keene, seeing and getting all this feedback from customers, from people, and hearing how much they care for the detail, the intricacy, and the production of the food. It brings me joy. It makes me so happy to see happy faces in the community, and it drives me to keep going in my career. In the Career Center, many job opportunities have risen for me. Job opportunities, secondary education, apprenticeships, and it's all thanks to my teachers. It brought me real work experience out in the field, as you've heard. I work currently in Yellow Bell Cafe and Fireworks, and I worked in Muse Bistro for over a year. These experiences have given me so much knowledge, and I have been able to learn a lot. Techniques, efficiency, creativity, and how to overcome pressure. From this experience, I know that it would be really challenging to keep going. Culinary is a very hard industry, a lot of hard people to work with, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. I chose to persevere, to work with many different people, with many different types of food, and it didn't let it stop me. The extreme pressure of having to serve over 100 people at a time, I wouldn't let it stop me. I knew I wanted this, so I stepped up and I threw myself out there with nothing but a smile on my face, just to give it a go, because I knew that's what I wanted, and I knew that's what I loved. So any opportunity like this was a huge step towards my goal, towards my future. And now I'm striving to learn new things every day because of these experiences, to make people happy, to show people and teach people how to be creative and efficient and willing to learn, whether that be cooking or whether that be from me. Just with anything, I'm willing to teach. I'm willing to show people in my community how it is how to serve, how to teach, and how to guide others towards success. Thank you all to my friends, my family, my teachers, and the administrators at Keene High. You've all helped me towards success, and I am so greatly appreciative for everything that you've done for me. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Michaela Evans will now sing Amazing Grace. She and her mom recently performed together at this year's Nostalgia. While a student at Keene High School, Michaela participated in many activities inside and outside of the school. In school, she played basketball freshman and sophomore years, unified basketball junior year, and unified track junior year. She was a member of the French club for 3 years and has been a member of drama club for all 4 years. She participated in a student study group led by Dr. Gallagher and a student group led by Mayor Khan. She was in the strings orchestra her freshman year, and in her junior year and senior year, she was a member of Keene High School Choir and Keene High School Voices. Outside of school, she participated in theater at Mocha Arts as well as NHGI for 2 years. She was co-president of the UCC Youth Group, as well as working at Yankee Lanes in Keene and Home Goods in Keene. She will attend Plymouth State University in the fall, majoring in music education. Please welcome Colin Hennigan, who will share his piece entitled Honoring Service Through Challenge. While a student at Keene High School, Colin has been a partner on the unified soccer team for 4 years, swam for the Keene High School swim team, where he qualified for states all years, podiuming his senior year. The boys' swim team were runner-ups this year, and he was the team captain. He has also been a member of the varsity lacrosse team in the past, helping the team this year as a team manager to focus on preparing for his summer training at the United States Military Academy at West Point starting June 30th. He plans to major in mechanical engineering.
Good evening, teachers, families, friends in the class of 2025. It is an incredible honor to be speaking in front of you tonight, sharing honoring service through challenge. For me, the title reflects not only the path I plan to take in life, but also the values I use to guide my decisions. True service is built through struggle and challenges. and it's these challenges that grow all of us into stronger, more resilient people. In 29 days, I will report to the United States Military Academy at West Point for my first day of cadet basic training. These 7 weeks over the summer are the start of my 47-month journey at West Point. It will challenge me in ways I cannot yet imagine. My journey to West Point started long before an application. Growing up, I watched my dad live a life of leadership, selfless service, and qualities. I believe he gained from his time at West Point and in the United States Army many years ago. My older sister surprisingly followed in his footsteps, and if you know her like I do, you understand that was a surprise. Actively watching my sister grow as a person at West Point made me want to commit to a life of service. It was these qualities of West Point that drew me in. But wanting to attend West Point and actually attending are two different things. I had to earn a nomination from a United States Senator, and I also recovered from a major injury to pass a fitness test. There were moments of doubt in myself, wondering if I was good enough. But through this application, I learned something that I would carry with myself for life. You don't grow by avoiding challenges, you grow by facing challenges head on. After 47 months, I will graduate and become an officer in the United States Army. This sentence scares me not because of the unknown, but because I know my path is not going to be easy. This is exactly why I chose it. But tonight isn't just about my journey, it's about everyone's high school journey. We all have had challenges to get to this point. Maybe a hard class, a personal struggle, or just finding the motivation to continue to show up every day. Whatever your challenge was, you overcame it, and it helped prepare you for your future. This is something we should all be proud of. And here's my message for everyone tonight. Don't avoid challenges. Seek them out whenever you can. Learn from them and let them shape you into someone to be proud of. Help others, live with honor, and lead with a purpose. No matter what your plans are after high school, how you react to challenges that you face will define your character. And it's the service that you give to others that will create your legacy. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2025.
Mr. John Perry is today's keynote speaker. Mr. Perry's family roots in Keene run deep. The Perrys have been part of this community for over 2 centuries, and he is named after local civil rights martyr Jonathan Daniels, who was Mr. Perry's father's close friend growing up. He graduated from Keene High in the late 1980s, and after graduating from Dartmouth College, he spent the past 33 years teaching English and American Studies at Keene High. He coached basketball at Keene High at various levels for about 20 years, has coached at the Keene State basketball camps for around 30 years, and has also been teaching at Keene Community Education's Alternative Diploma program for around 25 years. Mr. Perry loves that his profession is really about making connections with other people, with the subject matter, with great works of literature, art, music, film, with real life, with the past, and with the community. After spending so many years teaching and coaching in this community, it is rare for him to go anywhere in the Keene area without running into and reconnecting with former students and players. Watching current and former students find their success and happiness is one of the greatest rewards of being a teacher, he says. When not teaching or coaching, Mr. Perry loves spending time with his friends and family. He finds himself blessed to be surrounded by great artists. His wife, Shannon, who teaches art at Keene High and is an accomplished artist herself. His daughter, Jax, who is about to start a program pursuing her master's in fine arts. His son, Sam, who created wonderful works throughout his high school and is wrapping up his sophomore year at Johnson & Wales in the culinary program. And his mother, Judy, who is part of a watercolor collective that curates shows throughout the region. He feels so blessed to be a part of a community that values education and that offers so many great events and activities. Whether it was fate, karma, or just good old-fashioned luck, Mr. Perry received his official letter of acceptance for the district's early retirement benefit on the same day that Granite Valley Prep Charter School received approval for its charter from the state. Regardless, Mr. Perry is excited to continue his educational career with an energetic and enthusiastic group of like-minded educators at Granite Valley. His piece is entitled 4 Things. Please welcome Mr. Perry.
Thank you. If you think my intro is long, wait for my speech. Listening to that, thinking, I want to meet that guy. before you're too impressed by the intro too, I wrote that myself, so they did cut out the honors and awards section, but that's their prerogative. I'll start with this. Sometimes the greatest gifts are those we don't even realize we're giving. As was mentioned in the intro, I'm named after Jonathan Daniels. And 60 years ago, Easter of 1965, he gave a speech from this pulpit. So, growing up being the namesake of a man I never met, civil rights martyr who died 4 years before I was born, I grew up knowing John's story both as a historical figure and as something akin to a lost family member. The two lessons from John's life that my father always emphasized, regardless of audience, were these. First, whenever possible, stand up for the underdog. Second, your goal in life should be to leave every place you go better than you found it. Let those two mantras be the first in what promises to be a week-long advice-a-palooza for you students, graduates, coming your way from speeches, yearbook messages, Hallmark cards that hold Amazon and DoorDash gift cards, from your aunt who came into town to witness your graduation and somehow has taken over your bedroom, leaving you to sleep on the pull-out couch. Just waited to see if anyone groaned at that one in particular. Hopefully that's not happening to you. All great advice, I'm sure, but I hope these two lessons from Jonathan Daniels' life, along with a few key suggestions I'll get to shortly, hold some meaning for you. My 3+ decades as an educator and coach have given me more than just the bald head and tired eyes. This profession has given me countless gifts, not the least of which is that I have developed the ability to read teenage minds. Thankfully for all of us, the version I can read is a censored version of the Six Flags thrill ride of chaotic thoughts that is the teenage brain. You guys might be hard to understand, but you're easy to read. Since my job is to force teenagers to prove their claims with evidence, I can't just tell you I can read your minds, I need to show you. So let me lock in, and here's my proof. 15 of you right now, I'm assuming former students of mine, are thinking, why did Miss Rokes give the one person who already talks far too much a blank slate to fill with his self-proclaimed wisdom? 8 of you are wondering when I will get to quoting, "Oh, the Places You'll Go" by Dr. Seuss. It's not going to happen. 22 of you are wondering why Miss Rokes would ask the guy you spent the past 4 years assuming was just Mr. Good's stunt double to speak at such a prestigious event. 11 of you are wondering if you can set up a smart pass to go for a little stroll. 46 of you are now wondering if I'm going to keep this gimmick going for the rest of my speech. Don't worry, I'm done. Hold on, 3 of you wanted me to keep it going. Majority rules, let's move on. The reality is, not only can I not read your minds, I also find myself at a loss for how I can give you advice as you embark on your post-Blackbird journey in a world that is changing faster than a chameleon in a bowl of Skittles. So as computers worldwide are busy calculating how much longer they're going to need humans around, it's essential that we answer the question of how you can compete, not just with each other, but with technology and AI. My answer is simple. You can't. There's a big part of me that wanted that just to be like the mic drop moment and just walk off. Man, that was kind of pessimistic. The bad news is that we will never again be able to win any contest against technology in areas where technology excels. The good news is technology isn't human. While in some areas our humanity might be seen as a weakness, it's our humanity that allows us to do some things better than, or at least differently from, our computer counterparts. As my parting words of wisdom, and as a plea to your generation, I'd like to focus on 4 things that we can do, that you can do, as humans, as friends, as spouses, as parents, as citizens, as workers, and as leaders, that will give you and all of us a better chance at success, a better life, and in my humble opinion, a better world. For those of you that were in any of my classes, you know that I can never pass up the chance to share a story. So some of the points will be paired with brief stories that remind me of these 4 points in action, or sometimes in inaction. The good news is, these are your last 4 Keene High competencies. The better news is you can spend a lifetime reassessing, no 2-week window. So competency number 1, listen. Seems like such a simple piece of advice. It's one with which I personally struggle daily. When someone's speaking to you, listen. When people in your life, in your community, in our country, or in your world are struggling, listen. Listen is a skill we teach. Listening is a skill we teach in preschool, and we just seem to expect it's going to stick, and you've mastered it, and you can move on with the rest of your life. Spoiler alert. Much like cursive writing, reading a clock with hands, and using your phone for verbal conversations, listening seems to have fallen by the wayside far too often for far too many. I learned about the importance of listening on a daily basis throughout my career, but one encounter that sticks out in my mind happened around 15 years ago with a student from our life skills program. His name was Anthony, and his enthusiasm for life and abundance of energy were contagious as he bounced his way down the hallways. To prevent the stimulation and chaos of our hallways from overwhelming him, Anthony almost always wore headphones, playing some of his favorite music. Anthony's brain was also wired in a way that eye contact was very difficult for him, and his face rarely showed emotion. But once I found out that he was listening to mostly classic rock, that was my guy. I wanted to check in with him on a daily basis. So this particular day, I encountered Anthony in a quiet hallway with classes in session all around us. I greeted him, said, "Hey Anthony, what are you listening to?" Anthony, because of my size, his gaze went straight into the middle of my chest, stared in the middle of my chest, and he said, "How are you?" I said, "All right." Well, he rarely engaged like that. I was pretty excited to be engaged. I said, "I'm great, Anthony. I've had a great weekend. It's going to be a great week." I said, "What are you listening to?" Didn't even break his gaze. He's staring straight in, a little bit louder and more forcefully this time. "How are you?" I said, "Oh no. Is this a trigger that I don't know about?" And like I wanted to try to, keep it as calm as possible in the hallway there. So I figured, all right, I'm going to try to calm down. One more time. I said, "I'm really awesome, Anthony." I said, "What are you listening to?" He took off his headphones and stared for a second. I thought he was going to hit me upside the head with them. I wasn't quite sure. Reached up and put them on my ears just in time for me to hear that Anthony was listening to the Cheap Trick song, "How Are You?" So as it sunk in, once the chorus got there, and Anthony's still staring right at the middle of my chest, this is the part that really sticks with me because he looked up, made eye contact, and slowly whispered, "I thought you were smart." Grabbed his headphones back and bounced his way down the hallway. That one has obviously stuck with me. But it's important as we listen that sometimes our assumptions can cause us to listen for the wrong things, even when the real answers are right in front of us. Competency number 2, think. Seems like some fairly typical teacher advice, but fortunes are being made and empires are being built based on the fact that thinking has become a lost or worse, forbidden art. Whether it's a knee-jerk response to someone else's opinion or allowing social media and AI to do the thinking for us, the world around us seems to be more accepting of reaction and regurgitation than reflection. Change that. Take time to think about what you want to do. That goes for short and long-term goals. While you're at it, feel free to change your thinking. In the words of the 13th century poet and prophet Rumi, yesterday I was clever and I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I decided to change myself. As a teacher, I sincerely hope that I have never told a student what to think. My job was never to give you all the answers or to find the truths. My job was to instill in you the desire and tools to seek your own answers and truths and to push you to think critically so that you could determine true from false, good from bad, constructive from destructive, and the possible from the not yet possible. Along with my powerful addiction to telling stories, I've also been known to dabble in sarcasm. I've tried to avoid ever using sarcasm in a cruel way with students and others, but when I feel a student or anyone is not putting in the time to actually think about things, sometimes sarcasm is my go-to move. 2 years ago, Zach was that student. It's an actual name, but Zach he graduated last year, so it's none of you. Don't worry, if there are any Zachs in the crowd. As many of you know, cell phones have become a source of friction in classrooms, so on this particular day, after repeated requests to Zach to break his cell phone addiction, at least for my 78-minute block of precious wisdom, sarcasm seemed like the only way I could maintain my sanity. Here's the transcript of that encounter. First of all, the setting is a dimly lit classroom full of students reading a chapter from The Great Gatsby. As I looked across the room, I said, "Zach, your crotch is glowing. Do you need to visit the nurse?" Zach's response, "That's my phone." Me, "Thank God you're okay. Now put your phone away, get back to reading so you don't scare me like that again." Zach, "Are you being sarcastic?" Me, "Not sure. Feels like sarcasm, but I get it mixed up with irony." "I'm going to Google that. While I'm doing it, why don't you get back to the reading?" I assumed that was the end of our little exchange. I was wrong. After a few minutes went by, "Zach, so was it sarcasm?" Me, "Are you being sarcastic?" Zach said, "No, I really want to know what you found on Google." So now it's game on for me. So I pretended to be reading my screen, and I said, "So Google says that when a person is being sarcastic, the hair on the top of their head stands up. Did you see that happen?" Zach, "You're bald." New character involved here. Student sitting next to Zach leans over, "Idiot, that was sarcasm." Just when you think it couldn't get worse, Zach, looking back over at me, kind of that confused dog look on his face, "How could you tell?" While my attempts to get Zach to think failed miserably that day, I hope I've succeeded more than I've failed over the years, and I hope you, the graduates in particular, can succeed in putting thought front and center in your future lives. Competency number 3, care. Before you think this speech has turned into a cheesy motivational poster, I want to assure you that this is my most sincere and even desperate advice. Like the first 2 words, this one is boundless. That means you need to care about yourself, those around you, people different from you, as well as ones you have never, and will never meet. The level of caring obviously grows, as it should, the closer you get to home, but that doesn't mean it stops at arm's reach. Over the years, it has amazed me what my students have cared about and what they could care less about. Roughly 12 years ago, Joe fit the former category. As I was preparing my class for a field trip to the World War II Museum in Wolfboro, Joe blurted out from the back of the room, "I effing hate museums." As much as I love to tell a good story, I also enjoy hearing them. There was no way I was going to move on without knowing Joe's story of what made a 16-year-old kid from Marlow hate museums. Here's that transcript. Me, what on earth would make you so angry about museums? Joe, because I went to one in 8th grade and I spent 2 hours at some art museum sitting on a bench next to a guard. Me, I assume there's more that leads up to that part of the story. Joe, sort of. You know those velvet rope thingies at museums? Me, I do. Joe, and you know how they're supposed to keep you from touching stuff? For me, this story just got a whole lot more interesting. Me, supposed to? Joe, it's just a dinky rope. How's that going to stop me from touching something? Me, Joe, what did you touch at this art museum? Joe, who's that swirly painting guy? For any art people or artistic people in here, you might know what direction this is going. So me, you touched a Van Gogh painting? Turns out not all heroes wear capes. Joe, yeah, and they were not happy. They really needed to chill out. Some guy made bumpy paintings, big deal. Why'd he make them bumpy if you weren't supposed to touch them? So back to me, who at this point I'm just trying to hide the fact that Joe has leapfrogged me by leaps and bounds into being the coolest person in that room. Said, you realize there might be only a handful of people who aren't museum workers that have ever touched a Van Gogh. Joe, completely unimpressed by how impressed I was with the fact that he had done this, says, do we get to touch the tanks and guns and stuff at your museum? Me, you're gonna stay right next to me that entire trip, Joe. Joe, great. First the museum guard, now you. You wonder why I hate museums? So along with caring about things yourself, it's important to recognize that not everyone's going to care about the same things you do. The important thing is you find those things about which you care and pursue them passionately. With that said, set reasonable limits for yourself. As a basketball coach, one of my least favorite cliches about players was they need to give 110%. Since percent literally means out of 100, 110 would be impossible. It's an improper fraction situation. So it offends me as an English teacher and out of solidarity with my math teaching colleagues. But while the world desperately needs your generation of care, the world is also going to give you far too many opportunities to care. Pick your battles carefully. There's a big difference between being empathetic and being a drama sponge. Competency number 4. So this is our last one. And this is one I do have to give credit to my wife who, and she wasn't able to be here today, but she read an early version of the speech where I had 3 things, and that was going to be the title, 3 things. And then I would have already been done. She said, you missed create. So competency number 4 is create. While the first 3 things are things the rest of the world might not even notice, this one's inherently active and evident. While create leads many people to think of purely artistic endeavors, I would challenge you to expand that to all aspects of your life. Create your career. Create the relationships that you want to exist. Create your family. Create the community in which you want to live. In short, create your life. Cliches can sometimes ring hollow, but this one for me rings true. Don't just be a human being, be a human doing. Both you and the world will be better for it. This one I don't have a story for, because honestly I have too many stories for this one. I've been blessed to have chosen a career that has allowed me to witness thousands of students creating thousands of masterpieces. Paintings, sculptures, songs, essays, poems, meals, sheds, engines, equations, answers, solutions. compounds, teams, clubs, friendships, triumphs over tragedy, and random acts of kindness. While the world might not consider these things masterpieces worthy of the velvet rope treatment, hands off Joe, it was not just the creations, but rather the creating and the creators that impressed me so much. So that's it. Listen, think, care, and create, and you will inevitably leave every place you go better than you found it. I wish you the best of luck in your lives. I sincerely hope that we've prepared you and that you've prepared yourselves sufficiently to make decisions that will bring you and those around you happiness, to recognize good luck when you see it, and create your own luck when it doesn't happen to arrive on its own. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and congratulations in advance for all those accomplishments that you have left to find. So thank you very much.
Please welcome Bria Romanson, who will share her piece entitled About Face. Thank you. While at Keene High School, she spent most of her time committing herself to the junior ROTC program at Fall Mountain Regional High School through the Cheshire Career Center. She was a part of many teams during her time in the program, including Raider Team, Rifle Team, and Drill Team. She competed in several championship competitions for each team, earning the title of Best Raider, Sharpshooter, and earning second place in individual drill. She has also enjoyed taking art classes at Keene High School and was a part of National Art Honor Society for a short amount of time. She played JV softball team for the past several years and was on the wrestling team for about 2 years. She plans to complete pre-trades apprenticeship programs at Keene Community Education and then further pursue a career in the trades doing electrical/HVAC work.
I asked for matches, only to receive rain. For glass, only to watch sand slip between your fingers. Instead of rebuilding myself, I sat, in discomfort, watched the puddle pool around my knee, and for once, I did not drown. A stanza from My Heart Bled Today, and I did not stop to clean it up, after Carmen Gimenez by Kaylee King. That quote often brings me to tears. You see, everything in life is so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Yet the impact it can have on you or those around you can feel astronomical. One might say, enough to make your heart bleed. Good evening, everyone. My name is Bria Romanson, and this is my story. From childhood, I hated following the status quo. Trends disgusted me. Cliques in school were something I stayed away from. Not always intentionally, though. I used to be absolutely shy, to the point where my father would make me order lunch meat from the deli counter at stores to break me from my shell. But that didn't quite prove effective. In middle school, I joined the wrestling team. Initially, it was to stay active during the softball off-season, but little did I know that joining was my final push to receive the confidence I deserved. In high school, I continued wrestling during my softball off-season. But here came the question all of us seniors know too well. What are your plans after high school? I was debated with my answer, feeling ashamed of my empty response, battling personal sentiments with public view. I knew I wanted to do something kind of fierce, and eventually, my dad mentioned joining the military. After researching the program and the outcomes I could obtain through joining, I settled on the JRTC program at Fall Mountain Regional High School. Unfortunately, by joining the program, I had to stop doing some of the things I loved, like being a part of National Art Honor Society, as well as a good chunk of my day. For those of you who don't know, the mission of JRTC is to motivate young people to be better citizens, by preparing us to be better leaders in today's world. I feel more motivated to help and lead people. I also feel more confident in my abilities to do so. I went from the super shy girl to a strong, confident leader, someone who's able to see a struggle or a problem, assess it, and work towards fixing it. Whether it be in a group, society, or even in myself. Taking this class has to be one of the best decisions I have ever made. I have made a few new friends and connections, discovered new life skills and hobbies, and found a love for teaching my peers. This program also opened my eyes to the different personalities and how to use them towards a goal-achieving advantage. Through ups and downs, I've successfully completed this program and hopefully left a decent impression for future cadets to learn from. Sadly, I will not be able to pursue my dream of going into the military. In November of 2023, I suffered from a traumatic brain injury during wrestling tryouts. I was med-flighted to Boston Children's and underwent brain surgery 4 days later. This brain injury caused me to conclude my time with wrestling and any hopes of joining the military. This put me through a difficult time. I was debating quitting the JRTC program as a whole. For what use was it to me now? I struggled to find self-worth. I had put so much effort towards my goal, and it had fallen through my fingers, like sand. I felt useless. I didn't understand what I did to deserve this. I had been a great kid, but sadly things just happened the way they did. Nobody asks for such an injury or roadblock, but we can prevail. We can push through and conquer whatever it is we seek to do, no matter how much self-doubt we have. We can prove whoever or whatever caused such troubles or barriers that we can, in fact, persevere. Thankfully, I decided to stick with the program and seek guidance from my dad again and asked, what do I do? Once again, he gave me suggestions, one of which I chose. Soon I'll be pursuing a career in electrical trades, and I'm sure I will enjoy doing so. The title of my speech is About Face. For those of you who don't know, About Face is a drill command that requires you to turn around 180 degrees. I chose this title because of the symbolism behind it. I was stuck at the position of attention. I had nowhere to go, no idea which direction I was even facing. I was confused and felt like there was nothing that I could do to get me marching down the path I had originally wanted. I had no idea where to go from here. But somewhere out there was my dad calling the command of About Face, telling me that there are other places to go. I just had to execute the command correctly. Thank you.
Please welcome Noah Von Dett and Sadie Guardiano in Unity. They will read their piece about their involvement in unified sports entitled Together as One. While a student at Keene High School, Noah has worked for the past 2 years at the Keene Parks and Rec Center as a summer and after-school counselor. Along with this, he has been a part of all of the unified sports programs, soccer, basketball, track and field, that are offered at Keene High School, and has used his role in SALC, Student Athletic Leadership Council, to help make Keene High School more inclusive for all, with and without disabilities. He will attend the University of Vermont in the fall, studying to become a special education teacher. Sadie Guardiano has been a proud partner in the Unified Sports Program for 3 years now. She enjoys planning unified proms as well as helping with the Special Olympics of New Hampshire events throughout the years. She has also been a member of SALC for the past 4 years and strives to get the unified programs represented. In the fall, she will be attending the University of New Hampshire, studying marketing and outdoor education.
Hi, my name is Sadie Guardiano, and as Tatum already said, next year I'll be attending the University of New Hampshire pursuing marketing and outdoor education.
Hi, my name is Noah Von Dett, and next year I will be going to the University of Vermont to pursue a degree in special education teaching.
We have both been truly honored to be a part of the Unified Sports Program for the past 3 years. For background, my freshman year I was a part of another sports team at the high school. And let's just say it was divided, at times ruthless, and not fun. It was not together as one. I had some friends that spoke very, very highly of Unified, and I decided to give it a try for the fall soccer season of my sophomore year. I fell in love. For many of you here today that are a part of other sports teams, I know you understand pressure and the stress of not doing well in your said sport or being the best, or even the stress of not getting playing time and team tension. This is where the beauty of Unified truly shows. I, for one, am not an athletic individual, but that's okay. You could walk into Unified never touching a soccer ball, basketball, or track baton, and it truly doesn't matter. You will always get a chance to play, and I guarantee you will always have fun. I speak for so many when I say the joy of seeing an athlete score a goal, get a basket, or finish their event is unlike anything else. It is the best kind of win. I have heard from so many, not just my friends and family, that Unified games are the best games to watch. It is teamwork and talent like you've never seen before. No matter if it is Keene or the opposing team, we help each other because in Unified, everyone wins. Anyone who has seen a game knows how remarkable this talent is. The biggest lesson I have taken away from Unified is to never underestimate anyone and treat everyone the same. After doing it for so long, I've become very close with the athletes. They are some of my best friends. I talk to them like I would talk to anyone else. Let's be real. High schoolers swear sometimes and act out. I remember being asked, "Did you just swear in front of the kids?" They are not kids. They are high school students just like me and just like all of you. They are some of the nicest people you will ever know. If I can leave you with one thing today, it is to never underestimate anyone and try anything. You never know where it will take you.
Hi again. If you know me, you will understand when you hear me referred to as the dad of Unified by my coach or the Unified guy by staff or Dr. G. Similar to Sadie, I had made the choice to join one of Keene High's Unified teams during my sophomore year. With doing this, I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into. All I knew was that my friend Lydia was doing it, and it seemed fun. After about 2 weeks of practices and games, I had fallen in love. By the end of the basketball season, I had already decided to continue on with Unified track, even though I am not a runner or even athletic. When I had asked my mom to sign me up on Family ID, I can remember her asking me, "You know that's running, right?" Joining the Unified program has truly changed me as a person. Since becoming close with some amazing people like Sky, Dallas, Coach Dan, and even two of my closest friends, Sadie and Lydia, I have come to realize how vital special education programs are and how much they are needed throughout each community. During my time on Unified, I have been shown what a true chosen family can look like. Looking back, I can attribute this all to Coach Dan. No matter who you are, the mistakes you have made, or the challenges you are currently facing, Dan would be there for you and welcome you to the team as long as you would follow one thing: be kind and respectful to others. Once you had taken the time to join Unified and play an active role throughout the team, you had become part of the Unified family. This meant that you had the ever-flowing support of Daniel Gruber in your corner. This support was both on and off the field. I can remember times where Dan had reached out to former partners to simply check up on them to make sure that things were going well because he hadn't seen them in a few weeks. As both Sadie and I have gotten closer with Dan over the years, all he has done was be an avid supporter of us and provide us with a safe space to laugh and grow. As we move on with our next chapters, I know we will think fondly of the time we spent with him on Unified because he is the reason the team is what it is. Dan's open-heartedness is the reason that each Unified sport feels like a separate family from your own, him being a second dad to many. As I take my final steps away from the great world of Unified sports at Keene High and begin my own journey into special education, I will always have the thought of Daniel Gruber in my corner, always cheering me on.
Over the years, both Noah and I have worked so hard to grow this amazing program. We urge all you teachers and students with more time in your high school experiences to keep this special family alive. Whether that be going to a few games, volunteering for an event, or even joining the team, it is in your hands now, together as one. Thank you, Dan. We love you.
Please welcome Jamie Cloutier Brown to read her piece entitled Rising Through the Fire. While a student at Keene High School, she was a member of the girls' softball team, took the Fire 1 and EMT honors classes through the Cheshire Career Center, and is a Keene Explorer at the Keene Fire Department. After high school, she plans to attend Lakes Region Community College as a fire science major, and she also plans to work as a student resident at a fire station close to the campus of her college.
Some women are lost in the fire, but some are built from it. I heard that quote once, and it's stuck with me since. This powerful quote brought me to realize that I myself am not afraid of the fire. I've learned to rise through it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamie Cloutier Brown, and this is my story. From a very young age, I was determined to find my spark. Little did I know that was a lot easier said than done. I'd always had a passion for helping people, but what I didn't have was much of an idea of how to pursue that ambition. That all started to change when I looked a little closer at my own life at the pieces of my story that I didn't always talk about. My biological father is a firefighter, and for most of my life, he wasn't around much. Whether it was due to a job or for other reasons, I wouldn't say he's my inspiration, but he was definitely an introduction into the world of the fire service. I often felt like I was watching from the outside. I constantly found myself questioning where I fit into his world. Through all my struggles, there was always one person who never made me question myself, my mom. She's always encouraged me to do whatever I set, not only my mind, but my heart too. She's where my passion for helping people comes from. I watch my mom day after day pushing herself to the limit to show everyone that she's there. Personally, she's shown me that you can do absolutely anything with not only the support of others, but the confidence in yourself. Even in the distance with my dad, my mom was able to step up in any situation and even throughout my life. There was something about not only my dad's career, but what my mom showed every day that stuck with me. The courage, the responsibility, and the heart it takes to run into danger when everyone else is running out. At first, I wanted to become a firefighter to prove something, to him, to the world, maybe even to myself. I wanted to show that I could do what most people can't, that I was strong enough, brave enough, that I was more than the limits set to women. But somewhere along the way, that goal stopped being about proving something to anyone else. It became about purpose, about people, about showing up when it counts. This was how I wanted to help people. Keene High helped me find those ways to pursue that purpose. It gave me the opportunities, the guidance, and the support to grow into someone who doesn't just want to help, but someone who is ready to. If I wasn't at Keene High, I truly don't think I would be as passionate about this career as I am today. It led me to meet one of my biggest mentors in this service, Nancy Carney. Chief Carney started out as my Fire 1 instructor through the Cheshire Career Center, but she quickly became more than just an instructor, but as I mentioned, my biggest mentor. She was always making sure we worked hard, and at the end of each day, we were rewarded with the knowledge we learned and the hard work we put in. After taking my Fire 1, I was sure this is it. This is my career. My next step moving into that career was taking my EMT class, where I once again was grateful to have Chief Carney as my instructor. There are many people out there who have been lucky enough to meet Chief Carney, and I'm forever grateful that I was one of them. Nancy helped build my passion. She told us stories, she always believed in each and every one of us, and she never failed to make us laugh. I know moving forward in my career, I will always think of Nancy and the dedication she has shown to not only the service, but her students. Meeting Nancy and being at Keene High helped shape the fire in me, not one that destroys, but one that drives. Like that quote I mentioned before, some women are lost in the fire, but some are built from it. Moving forward, I plan to attend Lakes Region Community College as a fire science major. It may not be easy, but then again, nothing worth doing ever is. I know there will be hard nights, hard lessons, and moments that test me. But I also know that I am someone who is shaped by challenge, someone built by fire, not broken by it. And just how every flame starts with a single spark, this is only the beginning. Thank you.
Please welcome Andrine Alquist, one of our 2 foreign exchange students from this year at Keene High School. Andrine hails from Norway. She will read her piece entitled From a Viking to an Eagle. While a student at Keene High School, she played field hockey, ice hockey, lacrosse, and traveled extensively with students from 14 other counties as part of the Rotary Exchange program. She stayed with 2 different host families during the school year. When she returns to Norway, she will continue her education there and hopefully study journalism at a university in Oslo or Bergen.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrine Vegard Alquist and I'm from a small town south in Norway called Riise. I'm traveling with Rotary's exchange program and I've been in the United States for 9 months. I arrived on August 21st, 2024. I arrived with a YOLO mindset and many expectations for how I wanted my exchange year to be. My goal was to be more independent and confident, and I can finally say that my goal is accomplished after 9 months with unforgettable memories, unforgettable people, and a lot of hard work. It makes me proud to look back on all the hard days with homesickness. I have wanted to give up so many times, but I've always said to myself, keep going. And here I am today, more confident and more independent, with a bigger view of the world and a bigger heart after having met so many wonderful people. I wanted to do an exchange here for many reasons. I was, first of all, kind of tired of doing the same all day with the same people. I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience a new culture, improve my English, meet new people, and go out of my comfort zone. It's always scary to leave your comfort zone. I mean, your comfort zone is a nice and safe place to be, but nothing grows there. Therefore, it is so important to be brave enough to try new things. I remember I was so scared when I decided to do this, but I always ask myself the question, what is the worst thing that could happen? It's always a flight back anyways. I tried so many new things here I never had done before. I tried field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. I learned how to use inches, feet, and Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. I met people from all over the world, and I have learned how to take responsibility. I learned how to be a better version of myself outside of my comfort zone. I wrote this poem in Mrs. Smith's Lit and Comp class, and I would like to share it with you. From a Viking to an eagle. Norway and America, two different countries, different places, different nations. In culture and spirit, they both play a part, from the bustling streets of New York's bright glow to the calm, tranquil shores where wild rivers flow. Norway and America, salmon and cheeseburgers, Norwegians and Americans, the Vikings and the Eagles. Andrine and Andy, different people, different personalities, confident and scared, different feelings, different hopes. Norway and America, two different worlds, but one thing in common. Norwegians and Americans, we are people and we all have hope for the future. I hope I have inspired some of you to just go for it. Trust yourself, trust the process, and be yourself. Good luck in college, everyone. Thank you.
The Baccalaureate Singers, led by Dr. Leese, will now perform a piece entitled Undivided by Karen Maroli. We are fortunate to have Dr. Leese as an integral part of our faculty. He fills our halls with music, and we are grateful to and for him. Thank you all for attending today's program. The incredible stories and words of wisdom shared today remind me of how grateful I am to have the opportunity to grow up alongside such inspiring people. As we all come together for these final events leading up to graduation, it has become clear that these people around us have had far more of an impact on who we have become than we have ever realized. I've always been fascinated by the phrase, "I don't know." I don't know is a phrase that many parents have probably heard from their children this year. As seniors, we are asked, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Where do you want to go to college? How have you turned in your applications? Have you picked the college you want to go to? What job are you going to apply for? We hear endless questions about what our grand plans are, and typically our response is, I don't know. Let me explain to you what I don't know actually means when we say it. It might mean we are fearful of our future. It could mean we are both excited to make a change, but question if we are ready to make a leap into the unknown completely on our own. It can mean I'm tired and exhausted from studying for FRQs and MCQs and writing endless college supplements and essays for scholarships. However, I don't know is a transitional phrase, meaning that at some point, the I don't know shifts to I know. When we know what direction we are going in or what we are doing, we suddenly gain confidence in our abilities and become comfortable with ambiguity in our identities. We start to accept the messy and turn it into an intentional masterpiece. I believe that the unknown is supposed to happen because all humans need to be in an uncomfortable place in order to search for what is known and what is truth. We need to find out how we will react to hardships and uncertainty. We need to go through the process of struggle to find where our strengths are. In this particular process, we begin to recognize the people around us and see our worth and potential. We soon realize that we are destined for something greater than we ever imagined. Next year, I'll be going to the University of Rhode Island to study business marketing as a Varecchia scholar. Leaving Keene High School, I am grateful for my involvement in SALC, NHS, FBLA, and to have served as president of my Christian club, Club 211. I was able to grow as an athlete and a person when I participated in indoor and outdoor track as a thrower for all 4 years of high school, finishing my season with the CBC championships. I also participated in off-season lifting with my team. Thank you to Dad and Mom for supporting me and seeing my potential as you encouraged me in school and sports and at work. I can tell you that at the beginning of my college search, I had a very different idea of where I would be going. But through the I don't know process, I have learned that there is a purpose behind every search, and I don't know becomes now I know or now I see. I am grateful to know that beyond my decisions, I have a family and a faith that allows me to realize, despite any triumph or failure there is a greater purpose that we have to fulfill. A quote that has always resonated with me was, I don't know what my future holds, but I know who holds my future. So with this in mind, I am able to take a leap into the next chapter and trust the direction I am going. I want to extend my sincerest gratitude to my loving family, to the dedicated Keene High School faculty, my dear friends and loved ones for guiding me on this journey through the unknown and the I don't know process. I believe that we are all on a path and destined to find greatness in our own lives, and I wish you all the very best and that you too will learn from your I don't knows and find greatness and love in your future. I believe that you will make an impact in this world and would encourage you to find your purpose. It has been an honor to get to speak today and serve as Mistress of Ceremonies. The Reverend Elsa Worth will close our program with the benediction, after which Ms. Rokes will share a few words. Thank you.
Many challenges await all of us in this divided world, but I have, as I said earlier, great hope in this generation and its kindness. I have great hope in how accepting you are of differences and how you revel in individuality and hunger for connection. And I would point out that one face-to-face conversation with a friend or someone else that is vulnerable and shares is worth 100 online and worth 1,000,000 gifts or emojis. So I encourage in-person friendship, in-person cups of tea, in-person meals or walks, or just chats, whenever you can make them. You see the change ahead, and yet you move forward with innovation and determination. determination and hope, as I've heard tonight, from all of you. And as you head out into an uncertain world, I will be praying for you all, as I have been all year, because I knew Jean would ask me to do this again. And I pray that you'll each discover your specific calling to serve and love in this world, and to serve and all who live in it. So may God bless your feet wherever life may take you. Bless your hands that they may serve this world with integrity. Bless your eyes that they may see others with compassion and understanding. Bless your lips that they may speak peaceful and true, deeply true words. Bless your hearts that they may respond to the many hurts and needs around us in this world. Bless your minds that you may stay aligned with your highest ideals and use your gifts with great wisdom. And bless you as bearers of light in a world that is so often dark. Bless you all your days, this day and evermore. Amen.
Well, the fortunate thing is I think I'm cried out. I am Mrs. Jane Rokes, the house mother and greenhouse and proud baccalaureate advisor. Thank you all, the speakers and musicians today. Your stories and music are compelling and rich with insight. Thank you to all the seniors attending today, carving out time from your busy days. Recently, when I couldn't sleep, I got up and I grabbed the book I'm reading and found a quote that is germane to this ceremony and to life in general. Quote, "The trials and tribulations of life weigh heavily upon us, but we find people to help lighten the load. Seniors, look for those people who will lighten your life's loads." Then yesterday, as I was reading to our 8-year-old grandson Beck, I found another quote from The Dog Who Followed the Moon, and it reads, "There are times when we have done everything we can do, and then we must learn to step back and allow the universe to play out in all its unfathomable wonder." Seniors, you can step back and resume your forward motion when the time is right. Thank you, parents, for supporting your students. Thank you to Reverend Worth for opening up your beautiful church today and every year to allow us to gather for this ceremony. We have a special gift for you. Thank you to Mr. Perry for your keynote. We have been a fortunate school to have you in our midst. As you move on in your teaching career, we wish you adieu, adios, bon voyage, farewell. But mostly, we wish you Godspeed. We have a gift for you too. Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong, for another year of advising the senior class. This is your second in a row, so one last year and one this year, for your ability to always give and give and give a little bit more without seeming depleted. Thank you to your co-advisor, Kendra Morse, who is supportive and always available to our kids and staff with the plethora of questions that our seniors have. Thank you to Dr. Lease for always taking time for Baccalaureate by bringing music to the forefront as we juggle scheduling conflicts, and for always being available to answer questions with patience and grace, Matthew. Thank you to Dr. Gallagher, who is a quiet light in this program and who always checks in to make sure we are ready to celebrate this time before graduation, and graduation with collaboration and kindness. Last but not least, thank you to Tatum DeLegge for agreeing to be our Mistress of Ceremonies today. I asked her to take on this role when she was still in her junior year, well before she knew about what the duties this event requires. Her creative input has been invaluable. She is poised in stature and poised for her future like the other grads, so congratulations. Carry on. Recession out, but just visit with your families, and thank you all for coming today. We appreciate all of you.